Hello everybody, I'm back with another knife review, and today we'll be talking about the Extrema ratio, and this will be the Fulcrum II-T, and T stands for Tanto. I'll get rid of this. Here's an empty box. So here's the knife itself. Alright, let me go and open it up. I'm going to post the specs above as always, and feel free to pause the video during the specs and the size comparisons. Alright, I'm going to set this down. Now, notice that there's not very many reviews done on this knife. Actually, it's a well-known company, but I've only found one review, and it was done in like the in like a different language. So hopefully this will help, because this will be one of the first ones in English. So actually, you know, there's a guy that did this great vid in a foreign language to me. He put this knife through his paces, and he was stabbing through wood and cutting, and it was amazing. So after this video, if you haven't checked it out, check out this other guy. I don't remember what his username is, but just type in Extrema ratio of Fulcrum II, and it'll actually come up with a hard abuse test of this knife. So all right, so let's go ahead and get rid of these size comparisons. And let's go and do one last comparison. That would be the palm of my hand. So obviously, it's not a very small knife. You know, it's pretty long. Ergonomics are actually surprisingly decent. I wouldn't say it's great, but surprisingly decent for a knife of this design. You can tell it's not a very ergonomically shaped knife or anything like that. It is slightly curved, which I'll have to give them credit for that. But you know, it's pretty good, pretty decent. And with that nice thumb ramp right here, it's very nice to hold on to right here. All right. For any of you with larger hands, you're going to really appreciate this handle. Look how long it is, and look how thick this thing is. I mean, I'd be hard pressed for you to not find any room on this knife to hold on to it. So very nice. All right, so I'm gonna zoom in a little bit, and we'll start some macros on this thing. All right, so as you can tell here, it has a very generous sized lanyard hole. I mean, you can pretty much thread anything through there. At first glance, it looks like it has a glass breaker, but it really doesn't. So you can tell it's flat. It's not pointed. You could use it to break glass, but you know, you probably have to really go at it in order to do it. It is very thick, as you can tell. And by the way, they're all serial numbers, so this one's number 516. It is a back lock, and the back lock has very nice jimping on it, so your hands will not, or finger will not slip off when you're disengaging the lock. You notice one side says unlock, and the other side says lock, and that means just that. So as you can see, as when I press the little lever over, I can't release the back lock anymore. All right. So similarly, if I close the knife, all right, like that, and I push it back in the locking position, now I can't open the knife. This is as far as it'll open, by the way, but it will not fully open when it's on the lock side. You have to unlock it in order to swing the blade back out. It's very nice design, I think. And you can tell it's very thick, and I kind of like it because it looks very futuristic. Actually, I think I mentioned on my unboxing video, this thing just looks very, you know, like it doesn't even look it belongs from this time period. Really, it's very very and streamlined, very nicely designed and everything. Now, it does have a adjustable pivot screw, although this thing will swing pretty well, so there's no reason to adjust it in my opinion. It does feature a reversible pocket clip, but only for left and right tip-up carry. What I did like is the fact that they included 3 extra screws. Whoops, sorry. Included 3 extra screws on the other side, so it's not just holes on here. So just in case you lose a screw or something, you have 3 extras. But yeah, you can reverse the pocket clip to this side. All right. Now onto the blade here. Oh, before I go onto the blade, I want to show you this. Look at this wear mark right here. This is from this right here, the wear mark on the thumb studs. So essentially, yes, the thumb studs is the blade stop when the knife is closed. Look at that, contact's right on there. Furthermore, listen to this. So there's blade wiggle in the closed position, but there is no blade play in the open position. No blade play at all. You can see how tight the tolerances are on this blade. There's very little space between the handle scales and the locking bar and the steel. There's a slight there's absolutely no space between the bar and the actual blade itself. So very tight lockup. And I'm going to grab a flashlight here because you guys can take a look at inside. Not much to see, but you can tell it's very open, you know. So speaking of which, I want to show you this really quick. The thickness of the knife. This is compared to the second thickest knife I own, which is the 511 First Responder, For a folding knife, I thought the first responder had a very, very thick knife. The Fulcrum beat it. Look at that, a full 6mm width on the Fulcrum II. Any knife that has enough room to actually write the name clearly on the top of the blade is a very, very thick blade. And look, it even has like a 1.5 millimeters possibly on each side of the lettering, you know. So very, very clearly, you know, I can hold it down here. You can still see it says Fulcrum II. So very nice. All right, onto the blade. You can tell it does say N690. That is the steel it uses. Very generous thumb ramp, as I mentioned. Your thumb just locks just perfectly in there. Very good jimping. Huge thumb studs on here, by the way. I mean, you're going to be able to grab and actuate this knife with no problems whatsoever. All right. It does mention the steel hardness on the blade itself. Why, I don't know, but it is stainless cobalt steel. Very nice Tonto style. I've been getting the Tontos lately. I don't know if everybody's noticed or not. This is partially serrated. On the other side, it is say made in Italy. And Extrema ratio on the back of the blade here. Look at those wicked serrations. Very, very sharp knife, as I found out, because I did cut myself with this knife already. Right on the back of my hand here is healed up nicely. One thing I did forget to mention is that this pocket clip is very, very stiff. I'm going to close this knife before I cut myself again with it. But yeah, very, very stiff pocket clip. I had trouble getting it onto my pants pocket. I had trouble pulling it out. So this is definitely not a an EDC knife, in my opinion. So, oh, by the way, now that it's closed, I want to show you something. You notice how when it's closed, the way it's designed, you have this nice little cutout here. Perfect for your index finger. Wrap that sucker in there, hold on to the rest of the knife, and you use it as a striking tool. Very, very nice. You can use this, you know, you got plenty of room here, you know, use it as for blunt attacks, you know, or I mean non-lethal attacks, you know, with a blunt weapon. I mean, this is very, very cool. So, in case you don't want to cut anybody. So, locks up tight. I don't know if you can hear the lockup sound on there. I'll let you listen to it again. Very, very tight, you know, no play like I mentioned. So it's an awesome knife all around. I mean, it's just phenomenal, the weight of this knife, really. It's very heavy. So the handle material is made of something called anti-corrodal and or anti-corrodal. I don't know how you pronounce it correctly, but it's an aluminum alloy of Swiss origin, is what I read, and it has an anodized coating on it. So very, very nice, actually. So I'm glad it's made of aluminum, not of you know, steel, because this will make it even heavier than the almost 8-ounce mark of this thing. So the coating on there, I believe they call it a testudo coating, testudo blade, I believe. I'm not too sure what type of coating that is, but that's what it said on the website. As far as I'm aware of, this is probably just used for against the corrosion, oxidation, excuse me, and it's non-reflective as well, except for the actual cutting edge itself. So, all right, let me zoom back out. So my final thoughts is this is a very, very nice combat knife and a very nice combat folder, in my opinion. You know, it's completely tactical. I mean, this thing is so well built. It's so heavy. I would recommend this knife to anybody who just wants to add a nice combat knife to their collection. Again, not the most ergonomic, but very heavy duty. And as far as what I can see from the abuse video on YouTube here, this thing can hold up to a lot of abuse. So very nice. Anyway, this is my review of the Extrema Ratio Fulcrum II. I want to thank all my subscribers and my viewers for watching this vid, you know, taking the time out their day to checking out my stuff and watching this vid. I will catch you guys on the next video. All right, take care.